Robert Preston Stanley. Robert Preston Stanley was born on March 23, 1950 in Bristol, Connecticut. He attended Lewis E. Mills High School in Burlington, Connecticut, graduating in 1968. He went on to pursue his associate's degree at Northwestern Community College in Winsted, Connecticut, and then continued furthering his education at the University of Massachusetts, graduating in 1973 with an undergraduate degree in recreation. Bob's first job after college was working for the town of Newington as recreation supervisor, which he began the same year he graduated. Bob started under the tutelage of Superintendent Bob Detour and then became superintendent himself upon Mr. Detour's resignation in 1980. Bob was Mr. Newington and was always recognized as such. He was responsible for maintaining 4 Har-Tru and 4 clay public tennis courts at the Mill Pond Tennis Center. On his watch, he built the first handicap-accessible children's playground at Mill Pond Park. He also oversaw the development of the Clem Lemire Sports Complex. Being the environmentalist that he was and is, he built the nature trail at Churchill Park, which was appropriately named after Bob when he retired. Bob loves people and children. There wasn't anything he wouldn't have done for a child to have fun at the camps and playgrounds. Bob also was responsible for the annual back-to-school playground parade. Every summer, the children at the 9 different playgrounds built floats made out of tissue paper, chicken wire, and paper mache and entered them into the parade. During Bob's time as the leader of the department, the annual Life Be In It extravaganza began in 1981. Last July was the 38th anniversary celebration. Every year, Bob would be seen and noted for sitting high up on the roof of the Mill Pond bathhouse in the blistering heat overlooking the Life Be In It extravaganza. He would be relaying orders to the staff on the radio and making general event announcements to attendees. Bob was also responsible for a youth recreational basketball league with over 1,000 children. In addition, he oversaw a men's softball league, women's softball league, all youth sports leagues, and dozens of cultural, fitness, and other various recreational programs. Bob was active in the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association, serving as a member of several working committees and ultimately became the president of the association in 1984. Bob was well known for bringing parks and recreation professionals together from all over the state in a collaborative effort to move the association forward. Bob helped each year to organize and set up the state conference held at the Wethersfield Community Center. He could even be seen transporting tables and chairs from the community center in Newington to Wethersfield for the conference. Bob was as dedicated and loyal as they come. Bob has enjoyed his retirement since 2004 and currently resides in sunny Seminole, Florida. He has been happily married to his wife, Gail Stanley, for 42 years. He has 2 children, daughter Brittany Stegbauer and son Brett Stanley, and 2 grandchildren, Kylie Stegbauer and Mackenzie Stegbauer. In his spare time, his interests include fishing, kayaking, hiking, exercising, and spending time with his family. For all these reasons and many more, Bob Stanley is being inducted into the CRPA 2019 Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Bob Stanley. Christy Haas Dugalinski. Christy Haas Dugalinski was born on December 22, 1949. She attended Dighton Rehoboth Regional High School in Rehoboth, Massachusetts, graduating in 1967. She pursued an undergraduate degree in recreation at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, graduating in 1971 with a Bachelor's of Science. She began her career in recreation as the recreation supervisor for the town of North Haven in 1973. In this position, she was responsible for developing comprehensive recreation programming for residents. In 1977, Christy accepted a position in Rocky Hill as the Director of Parks and Recreation, where she managed a $750,000 budget and oversaw the Parks, Recreation, Senior Citizen, Aquatic, and Tree Warden divisions. From 1991 to 1997, she took on more responsibility developing and overseeing the Facilities Management Division. During this time, she administered a $2.6 million budget, which included the care of all town buildings and school buildings, along with the supervision of over 40 full-time employees and 100 part-time employees, conducting labor negotiations and many more administrative duties. This was a temporary assignment and was designed to develop a department that would eventually be staffed with personnel dedicated exclusively to facilities management. That goal was met in 1997 when a full-time facilities manager was employed. For the next 19 years, Christy continued to maintain and expand the Rocky Hill Parks and Recreation Department. Christy was one of the first women in the highest leadership roles. Therefore, she became the mentor for hundreds of females in the parks and recreation field. She always encouraged preparation and work ethic. Christy was afraid of nothing and no one. If you know Christy, she can talk her way out of, into, and around any topic there is. She is just a genius. She really shined at rallying the community to get a project done. She had every senior citizen in town worshiping the ground she walked on. She had the uncanny ability to get the youth league leaders to support her for every new construction project. Christy, though the ultimate professional, also still had a little bit of farmer in her. You see, she came from a large farm that her parents owned in Massachusetts. Because of this upbringing, the department always had a live animal petting zoo at all special events. Christy was on every CRPA committee and rose to the ranks of CRPA president in 1981. She was president of the Connecticut Public Parks Association and held the highest leadership roles in the Connecticut Tree Wardens Association. After retiring from Rocky Hill, Christy took on a whole new life as park superintendent of the New Haven Parks and Recreation Department. New Haven didn't know what hit them when Miss Dogolinski arrived on the scene. She made huge changes to professionalize, provide new programming, change personnel rules, overhaul the city tree program, and of course, change the way the parks plowed snow. She is a tornado on two legs. Christy was always seen on TV at Christmas time when she would decorate the city of New Haven for the holidays. She would truck in giant Christmas trees to the center green, hoist it upright, and secure it in place. She then installed thousands of Christmas lights throughout town, which brought joy to children and parents alike all season long. Christy retired in 2016, residing in Middlefield, Connecticut, and enjoys spending time with her family. She has 4 children, Sarah Ann Greco, Eric Robert Dogolinski, Deborah Makovsky, and Robert Dogolinski Jr., as well as 5 grandchildren, Kaylee, Alexandra, Trace, Jessica, and Kayla, all of whom she is very proud of. She also assists with childcare a few days a week for her youngest grandchildren, Kaylee and Alexandra. Christy is always seen with another famous CRPA Hall of Fame inductee, her husband and true professional Bob Dogolinski. Together they represent the CRPA Hall of Fame in fine fashion. In her spare time, her interests include gardening, nature, wildlife, antiques, fishing, reading, and walking. For all these reasons and many more, Christy Dogolinski is being inducted into the CRPA 2019 Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Christy Dogolinski. James Michael Capides. James Michael Capides was born on January 7, 1954, in New Britain, Connecticut. He attended Berlin High School, graduating in 1972. He went on to pursue his undergraduate degree at Central Connecticut State University, majoring in physical education, and graduating in 1976. Jim furthered his education at the University of Hartford, receiving a master's degree in public administration. Jim landed his first job in the field working as the recreation director for the town of Berlin. He then went on to become the leisure services director for the town of West Hartford. Jim was a leader in West Hartford from day one. He worked on several notable projects. During his tenure in West Hartford, he literally rebuilt every playground and made them handicap accessible. He constructed Fernridge Park and Wolcott Park. He renovated the Veterans Memorial Ice Skating Rink. He designed and administered the construction of the Cornerstone Aquatics facility that included 3 pools, a competition lap pool, a recreation pool, and a spa pool. Jim was also noted as a leader in overseeing the Rockledge Public Golf Course and Restaurant. He always banked a surplus at the course and used the surplus to fund recreational programming for children with disabilities. He also built the first Miracle League baseball field in the area. Jim did it all. He was a leader in every single aspect of the field. During his rise through the different leadership roles in CRPA, Jim traveled to Washington every February for the mid-year National Recreation and Parks Association meetings. Jim served as a member of several CRPA committees and became president of the association in 1988. He knocked on legislators' doors advocating for the Land and Water Conservation Fund, LWCF, and for Urban Parks and Recreation Recovery, UPAR funding. Jim was a true professional. Jim is known for his positive attitude and hard work ethic, and is known for the phrase, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work." Jim has been recognized as a CRPA Distinguished Individual, received the CRPA Past President's Award, and has been inducted into the Berlin High School Athletic Hall of Fame. For those of you who know Jim Capides well, when he was working, he was the ultimate professional, and when he was playing, there was no one else you would rather want to be around than Jim, said Bill DeMeo, Superintendent of Newington Parks and Recreation, and his good friend. He will forever be remembered as helping to coordinate the CRPA Tune Train at one of the CRPA quarterlies. Jim has been enjoying his retirement since 2013, spending time with his family at the Connecticut shoreline. He has been happily married to his wife Carol Capides for 40 years and has 2 daughters, Kim Bennett and Carrie McKee, along with 6 grandchildren, Maddie, Brady, Griffin, Riley, Gavin, and Tyler. Jim treasures quality time with his children and grandchildren and enjoys golfing, boating, fishing, going to the beach, exercising, traveling, and volunteering. Jim can be seen helping his grandchildren perfect their sporting techniques, and he is always on the sidelines or in the bleachers watching them compete. Jim also volunteers for the Miracle League of Connecticut, the East Lyme Main Street Committee, and for the Berlin High School Athletic Hall of Fame. It is for all these reasons and many more that Jim Capides is being inducted into the CRPA 2019 Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, James Capides.